Hi there, welcome to Drew Bentley Guitar. Thanks for spending your guitar time with me today. Let's take a look at vibrato. Vibrato is the way to make your guitar come alive. It gives your guitar a vocal quality and makes it sing. It's really one of the most important techniques that there is. And when you bend and do vibrato together, it's, I guess, like the holy grail of guitar. It's like the most expression thing there is. So let's go ahead and dive in and see how we can do this. Vibrato is a technique that singers have been using for centuries. It's a natural thing for the human voice. Basically, if you had a straight line like this, vibrato would be a dolphin jumping above and below the line like that. And it's very expressive. And we can do the same thing with our guitar and put that wave into our hands and make our guitars cry or make them sing. So what we're going to do is take your hand, put it on the note, and we want to take our wrist and rotate like this. So you see how my fingertips staying still as I rotate? That's the motion. Sometimes you'll see some players do it differently, but this is the best way. So B.B. King might be the best vibrato ever. I mean, it's arguable, pretty good. If I play the C note on the 5th fret of the G string and I do vibrato on that, what I want to do is have the pitch go above and below that note. Here's the pitch. Here's my vibrato. Now, if it sounds like this, and it goes out of tune, you're probably pulling it in one direction. In your mind's eye, you want to go above and below that line evenly so the pitch doesn't change. So if I play that again and do this, it's going to be a nice steady above and below. Okay, so we can do vibrato with a wide vibrato or a thin vibrato, a really fast vibrato or a slow vibrato. And a combination of those is great. You can do slow wide, you can do fast wide, you can do slow thin, you can do fast thin. Different players have different types of vibrato, and this is one of the stamps, I guess, of musicianship, the individual musicianship. When you do this, it makes you have your own voice. Once you figure out where your favorite vibrato lies, you're going to start to have your own sound. That's like when you listen to David Gilmour play. First second you hear him play, or Brian May, or any of these really great guitar players, the very first second you hear them play, you're like, whoop, that's that guy. And it's not just the amps and the guitars and pedals and stuff. The left hand is the most important thing in your guitar playing world. So if we take our first finger, and we play this 5th fret of the G string, there's a very thin vibrato right there. Okay, I'm going to do a wider one now. You take my hand and do like a hang loose kind of thing like this. Now here's a nice wide, fast vibrato. Here's a wide, thin slow vibrato. So I can do that with the second finger as well. The third finger, 4th finger. All the fingers can be used. You'll notice when I get to the 3rd finger, I'm kind of dampening the other strings. That's like a natural thing that my hands are doing to keep those other strings quiet. It's not just open in the air like that, but I'm dampening by covering it. So I want to try the same thing on like the B string, for example. Here's the 8th fret of the B string. If I do my first finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. Now the high E string is a little different because we've kind of run out of real estate. I can do it, but I can't do it super, super wide. So a lot of times on the high E string, I'll do more like a violin. I'll go back and forth like this. Hear that pitch changing? It's the same pitch though, just above and below that dolphin jumping, above and below the line. Again, you're trying to work on intonation. Make sure you're in tune when you're doing this. It shouldn't sound like the pitch changes. You shouldn't pull it sharp when you do it. You can also make a circle with your first finger if I do this. Here's this one with a circle. This one. Okay, so you want to kind of use all the different fingers on all the different strings. The fatter strings work as well. Here's the D string. And I'm going to keep an even beat too. So if I put this track on, this is the beat, right? I'm going to do the vibrato with that beat. Check it out. I'm going whoa, 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 like threes, triplets. Triple. So in this particular case, my vibrato is keeping time by going whoa, 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 whoa. It's not always the case. Sometimes you play a song, and the vibrato is going to just be an eighth note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and whatever tempo I'm playing. Just randomly playing some stuff here. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, la 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 la. So if you use the metronome, back to the triplets again. That's the tempo of the track I did there. It's 67 beats a minute, and I'm doing that as triplets. So I'm going whoa, 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 whoa. So in my mind, I'm going ba-da-doo-da-doo. And I have the delay set for the same tempo. Actually, the delay, though, is not in threes, it's in twos. Not to confuse things, but the delay doesn't have a dot. But anyways, if I play this, in my mind, I'm going la 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 la, right? So whatever song you're playing, I'm making things up here. Same as my song was this. Da 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 da. So I've got that going on with my vibrato. And so I've learned to do that, to play vibrato with the tone of the tempo of the song. It makes it much better. You kind of fit that in like that. Again, we're doing thin or wide, fast or slow, thin and slow, thin and fast, wide and slow, or wide and fast. And the next stage then, once you get comfortable with that, would be to do this with some bendings. So there's a video on the channel from a few years back about bending. You might want to take a look at that. If I play like this note here, 15th fret of B, I'm going to bend a string to that pitch. So you got to kind of learn how to bend in tune kind of first. And there's a whole bunch of different ways to do that. Once I get that bend and I've established that bend, if I put vibrato into that, that's going to make that bend sing. I call it like note bloom. I think that the note opens up. It sort of starts to kind of blossom, I suppose. Like if you feed something back on the guitar, that means the amplifier is amplifying itself. But if I play this note, if I play a harmonic like this, I need some distortion, hang on. If I play a harmonic like this, hear that? The extra pitch wah wah. That kind of comes out when you bend it. There it is. So you work on your vibrato first, and then you work on bending. So here's a vibrato again. I'm going to go whoa, 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 So all I'm doing right now is playing the pentatonic scale in A minor. And you should learn those. Take a look for the video with a big 5 on the thumbnail. That has all 5 positions of the pentatonic scale. And if you play that scale, you can practice doing the vibrato while you play the scale. So I'm going to turn off the delay right now. Let's turn that off so there's no delay. There's still multi-delay. I'll turn that off too. Now there's no delay. It's still a little bit of reverb. So if I play this pentatonic scale, go backwards. Now let's try a wide, slow vibrato. Let's try a wide, fast vibrato. That one's definitely more the B.B. King style, isn't it? Now I'm going to try a thin vibrato that's really slow. A little more subtle. A thin vibrato that's fast. As you become more familiar with these, you'll hear these different types of vibratos being used by different players. And you can see that some players have specific sounds that they love, that they do all the time. And it kind of depends on what style you're playing. They all work. On the blues, vibrato is the best. So work on trying to get that to be in tune and ultimately in time with whatever piece of music you're playing with, whether you're doing eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or triplets, triple, and match the pitch, get nice and clean. Now I will mention there's one other type of vibrato. I call it the heavy metal vibrato. A lot of times heavy metal players, or like heavier guitar players, Iron Maiden maybe, you'll play a pitch and then you bend to the next pitch and back down. The vibrato is really wide like this. So you can hear that a lot of times in those songs. And if you hear that, they're literally doing the vibrato up to the next pitch. I will mention the dynamics are important as well. Something I call the beat pulse, which is like with the beat of the song, and a phrase pulse, where entire phrases will be louder and softer. There's a video on the channel about playing with dynamics. I think it's called Playing with Feel. You might want to check that out too, but the dynamics in conjunction with this vibrato really makes your guitar sing. So be sure to practice fast and slow, wide and thin vibratos. Do combinations of all of those. On the high E string, you can do a thinner vibrato, but you might have to do the circular vibrato or the side-to-side vibrato. But make sure you work on this vibrato on the A string and the low E string as well. It's the most expressive thing there is. This helps you to get your own voice. You'll have your own way of doing it. The best players have their own vibrato. You can think of people like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mentioned B.B. King, Eric Johnson's great vibrato. I love Brian May from Queen is great. John Petrucci, Steve Morse. I mean, all these players have great vibrato. David Gilmour, of course. You can mix and match too and find what works best for you. In certain songs, you can be more aggressive. In other songs, you can lay back and be more expressive, I suppose. But this is a wonderful way to get your feeling into your guitar playing. If you couple that with bending, I think it's the best of the best. It kind of makes the guitar cry and sing, and oh, it's great. And if you add some dynamics in and work on phrasing, it's amazing what you can do with simple notes to make everything absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. There's lots of guitar lessons on their way. I do gear reviews and technique lessons, and it's guitar all the time here on my channel. So thank you so much for watching today's lesson, and I'll see you next time.